Hello everyone, I am Dr. P. Seethalaxmi, Assistant Professor, PG Department of English, Vellala College for Women, Erode. The reading process, a phenomenological approach by Wolfgang Iser. So we know about writing process. Writing process has many varied kind of instructions to be followed, where from writing an essay we have to begin from an introduction to conclusion, and we have to follow some procedures in it. And while writing a letter, we start from to end the body of the letter and the concluding salutation of everything. So we have to know about the reading process also. Is there anything process in reading? Is there any process in reading? We can take any random book in a random way. We can read in a newspaper. We can read in a random way. So, is there any process in reading, and does it affect the text or the writer? Let us see in this video. So this is Wolfgang Iser. So he was a German literary scholar. And he was born on 22nd July 1926 and died on 24th January 2007. And he was known for his reader response theory in literary criticism. So his theory began to evolve in 1967, and this work, The Reading Process, a Phenomenological approach was published in 1972, in which he gives about the interrelation between the reader, text and the writer. So let us see about it. Before getting into the proper topic, let us know about reader response theory. So what is reader response theory? When we compare with the other theories, other schools, it is unique because the other theories and other schools, they primarily focus only on the background of the author, the content of the text, or the form of the text. Whereas the reader response theory, it focuses primarily on the reader, how the response, how the reader responses, and it allows the inferences and insights of the reader. So if you are reading something, that kind of knowledge and experience of the reader also affects the text. For example, if there is a married woman, when she read a text on wedding, then it affects her understanding and inference and interpretation of the text, rather than when we compare with that of a spinster. So this kind of interpretation of a text matters a lot when we go for a kind of reader response theory. And when we see about an emotional response also considered in reader response theory. For an illustration, I can say, when a mother is cooking something special for the family, like a biryani or with something, she cooks it and she delivers it to the family members. The preparation is over, so that is the text. Whereas when as soon as the preparation is over, it is not complete. Only when the family members taste it and they consume it, and when they give the feedback of the dish, then there becomes the completion, then there the process completes. So in the same way, only after the response or of the readers, the text becomes complete. So Lin says reader response theory also expects reader to work as a community to share ideas and seek common ground. So we can make a formula out of this, saying that if there is a text and there should be a reader. A text, if it is all alone, then it does not become complete. Only when a reader reads it, it is getting processed. So that is what the reading process means. And only after the reader's comments, and only when it or she gives the criticism or views or ideas, opinions, whatever he or she gets out of the text, gives the clear picture of it, then it gives the meaning of it. So we can give the formula like text plus reader is equal to meaning. Then we can see about phenomenological approach. So what is that word phenomenological? So phenomenological means where you are getting the first hand experience. So when there is a text, when you are reading it, you are experiencing it and you are giving it a kind of review or a comment or a feedback. So the conscious experience as experienced from the subjective or the first point of view is called phenomenological. So getting into the point, there are two poles of a literary work. So the one is artistic and the other one is aesthetic. So artistic is a literary work, a creation of the author is artistic. So whatever the author gives, it may be a poem or a novel or a story or a play, whatever it is artistic. Whereas aesthetic is the recognition of the accomplished by the recognition accomplished by the reader. So whatever recognition, if I am reading a poem, then that recognition is accomplished by me, that is aesthetic. So these are the two poles of a literary work. So where Lawrence Stern, he says about literary response, that is a literary text is a game of the imagination. So where he compares it with a game. So where when you are playing, you should have the part in your play. So that is very important. So for example, if a writer is given a text and if you are not reading it and if you are not enjoying it, then it is not a game at all. Whereas the reading process should be a creative and active one. So here, for instance, I have given a picture of a daughter and a dad playing a chess game. So imagine that if a dad, if he gives the game, if he plays all the games of all the pointing of the daughter, then the game would be very dull for the daughter. Whereas if she plays from her view and if she plays her part, then it becomes successful for both of them. So in the same way, here if the dad is the author and the daughter is the reader, the author's part is writing the text, whereas the reader's part should also be creative and active. So that is what is told by Lawrence Stern in his remarks about literary text. And when Virginia Woolf says about, and she worked on Jane Austen novels, she says that the unwritten part of the text gives much understanding and creativity for the reader. So where when you see Jane Austen novels, she doesn't take very extraordinary topics, where she has taken very simple and understandable normal day-to-day life topics, and sometimes it may be a trifle one. So when you say the novel Pride and Prejudice, where she says about the matching of a bride and a bridegroom. So where it is a very simple topic, very simple theme that she has played all over, but where we can see that the Jane Austen, she stimulates the response from the readers by giving normal kind of themes, and where she is not explicitly saying whatever happens, she makes the persons to guess the responses, guess the scenes after scene, and she stimulates the readers to enact a lot from their response. So she makes the reader's mind to expand, and all the characters are laid in stress. So the stress is laid on the character, and we can see the twists and turns in the novel, where the dialogues are very important, and the readers, the unwritten part of the text, the readers, when they read it, when they can understand it in their own interpretation, with their own knowledge, with their own experience, they can understand it, they can interpret it, they can assume the next scene would be like this, so the next go of the novel would be like this, like that they would imagine something. So that's what Lawrence Stern has given in the previous in the previous remark. I told you that he is comparing it with the game, as if with the reader and a writer. So the unfinished in the main inferior story or the elements of Jane Austen's greatness. So this is what told by Virginia Woolf in her study. So this is what is the end of the part 1 of the reading process, a phenomenological approach. Thank you.